Hatchett of the Hatchett Chronicles. This is not my usual day to be on live. I just had to jump on real quick. I'm not feeling well. I'm getting over a little cold. I'm not claiming it, but it did put me down for a little bit. So I'm getting over a little cold. I'm not feeling well, and I am cooking. But this was, this is so important. And I was talking to my sister about it today, my sister Ann. And I just needed to jump on to talk to you guys about it. And I don't know, maybe it's me and I needed to, it's just resonating with me. I don't know what it is, guys, but hey, I'm bringing it to you. Usually we talk about Hatch Chronicles of we're full of love and happiness and um we and togetherness and relationships. And once in a while we get into certain issues and events around town, but it's mostly about relationships and love and God, always God, and which is, gonna always be the case. However, today I'm coming to you. Well, let me first just say this. Okay, this is my little disclaimer. This is my personal opinion, okay? So I am not trying to be rude, upset nobody, hurt nobody's feelings. Again, it's my personal opinion. So, opinions are like, buttholes. Everybody got one, as they say. So, so won't nobody come at me and try to sue me, because let me just tell you, one, you try to sue me, you're not going to get nothing because I don't have anything to give you. Two, if it hurts your feelings that much, then maybe you should just look in the mirror and think about it. Maybe it might be something to that. And three, as I said, it's just my opinion. So, you know, really, you really don't have to listen to me. So anyway, so I've noticed something, and I don't know. Is it because I'm in? Okay, first let me tell you, I have moved. For those who don't know, I have moved to Georgia. Now, I'm not going to say the town in Georgia because I don't know how that works. It might be bad mouthing, or, people are very sensitive. That's another thing. If you're, people is very sensitive these days. If you voice your opinion, they get their feelings hurt and then they want to sue you or belong to the Me Too Club or all that. And I don't know nothing about that, so I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, so I moved to Georgia. Okay, my husband and we're in Georgia, and for everybody that know me, I am a strong woman. I was raised by a strong woman, so I'm not one to have a, I don't know what you call it, the womanly wow, like get around a man and all of a sudden, oh, I can't do that. Can you pick that up for me, or can you change that because I don't do that? I'm just not. Now, no offense to anybody who is that type of woman, but, you know, uh, from my family and where we come from, women are just, they get it done. Something needs to be done, you get it done. My mother could drive a tractor trailer. I'm a driver, and I trained at one point to drive a tractor trailer. We I had moved refrigerators at 7 months pregnant, and I'm moving, so it was just me and my ex-husband, so it had to be done. We didn't have no help, so I'm picking up stuff and moving. When I was young, my mother moved a lot, and so me, my sister Ann, we were the movers, designated movers. So it was like you do stuff because you have to. We didn't sit around and wait for a male to do stuff for us. We just got it done. If a tire needed to be changed, hell, I learned how to change a tire. I changed the tire. My oil need to be changed. I don't have the money to change oil. I changed my oil. That was just how I was raised. However, I also was raised with strong black men in my life. It wasn't that, you know, Some things I didn't have to do. It was just natural for me to do. And I've had strong black men. My cousins, my brothers, you know, uncles have been strong men in my life. I married this last marriage that I have. My husband is a strong man, and all of his brothers are strong men. So they have been able. So I just kind of rolled into the same thing that I came out of. That I'm used to my brothers and my uncles and my cousins, my male cousins being my protector. So marrying my husband, I still had that because all his brothers have that that protector, strong black man protector. And yes, let me just also make that clear. I'm talking about black men, strong black men. And I know a lot of them because I've had a lot of them in my life. A lot of friends that I have that are still my friend are strong black male protectors of our women. Now, that being said, this is what I've noticed. Okay, living in Georgia, my husband and I have been through some trials and tribulations, happens in life. From car breaking down to, financial, whole lot of, trials and tribulations, just life, the roller coaster of life. What I've noticed is that the black males out here do not have that strong protective um, woman instinct. A strong protect your woman instinct. What I mean by that is that um, when, like for instance, my car. Okay, so I'm having problems with my car. My brakes they wasn't working at first. I needed brake pads at first, and the mechanic that I usually use, he's in Virginia, and I'm in Georgia, so I can't go to him. So I'm looking for a mechanic. So let me just tell y'all the story of what's going on in my path to try to find a mechanic. So not having much money that I need to go to a shop or to go to the dealership and get my brakes fixed. The other thing was, okay, let me find, how you have the mechanics at the AutoZone or the O'Reilly's. Let me go there, find a mechanic, and see if he would, fix my brakes for me. Now, normally, and let me also just say this. When I brought this to my husband, he said it was like that all over. Maybe because I haven't felt it, I just don't agree with him on that. Maybe because I'm just now feeling that in Georgia. Maybe because I've been surrounded by strong black men. I don't know. I've seen it on Facebook where I hear the women crying for their strong black men to step up. But I haven't felt it until I moved to Georgia here. And this is not my first time moving to Georgia. But it just seemed like it's evident to me now with the way the world is going. I don't know what it is, but it's just evident to me. Okay, so back to the brakes. Okay, so the first guy that I found to do it, he charged me 40. Well, first I asked one guy, he said $80. I didn't have $80. My neighbor, who are black, and these are all black people, okay, let me just say that. My neighbor who's black, he wanted to charge me $80. And so I said I didn't have it. So then I went to the AutoZone. This other guy said $80. I didn't have it. So I went to O'Reilly's. This guy said $40. Okay, so I can do 40. So I said okay. So he took, first of all, 2 hours to change the front brakes on both sides. Okay. So automatically, even if you don't know about cars, you should know it don't take no 2 hours to do brakes, okay? You don't have to know nothing else about cars. But I think everybody who drive a car know that it don't take 2 hours to do the brakes. As a matter of fact, I had a friend, a female, who changed her brakes, and this was years ago, with a butter knife. Okay, so brakes are not hard to change. I have a big truck, SUV, a Yukon, Denali. So, you know, I just didn't I have never learned how to do brakes, and I probably should have got on Google or Google and did it myself. I was about at that point. But anyway, so I did. So I went to him. I would give him the $40 to change it. So it took him 2 hours, and he must have did something wrong, didn't put the bolts back on. But anyway, my brakes wasn't fixed. Then it started making a noise under it, like a grinding noise, like I was dragging something. So I had to wait because during this time we were going through some other changes. And I really can't speak about it because I have a lawyer with the house that we're in, and landlord not doing what he's supposed to do. But anyway, we were in other financial difficulties with the house. So thereby, I had to wait to get some more money so that I could find somebody else to do the brakes right. So my brother-in-law talked to someone that didn't live far from us and asked him to fix it. So he said that it was the rotors, that I needed rotors. So he fixed the rotors on one side, mind you, which I found out that you're supposed to do both sides. And I think he charged my brother-in-law like $50 or something like that to do that. And so my brother-in-law paid that for me to get the car fixed. But the car still wasn't fixed because brakes still didn't work. The guy said that there was a leak in the brake line. So when I got the money again, mind you, I had to wait for money again. So I got the money again because my car is also how I work. Okay, because I do delivery, so that also is how I make some money. So we went someplace. My sister and I went someplace today to try to get the car fixed. Or was that yesterday? That was yesterday. Yesterday we went someplace to try to get the car fixed. And the guy said, yeah, you got a leak in your brake line. And, I can fix that for you. The part is $10 and labor is $100. So I'm thinking the part is $10, but labor is $100. And see, mind you, again, I just told you I had a Yukon Denali GMC. So this car is really quote unquote a luxury car, and people see this SUV, and I tell you, I lie to you not. Just because of the look of the car, they think I got money. And my sister and I laugh about this all the time because I was like, hit me if you want to, and you're going to be sadly fooled because I don't have any money, just because I got that car. Don't let the look fool you, okay? So I'm thinking that people is hiking up the price because of, because they look at the car. Okay, so today I go to pay a bill, and I just happened to ask the guy I was like, do you know anybody who works on cars? He says, my neighbor. So he calls his neighbor, and I take the car around to him, and he says, he tells me that what he sees is he don't know whether it's the brake lines or not, but he tells me to get out. He explains everything to me. I tell him, being open and honest, I tell him, people would start looking at my car and charging me an arm and leg, and I can't afford it. And he was really a nice guy. He explained things to me, black guy again. And he said, well, listen. And I was like, I don't have $100. And he was like, they're probably charging you $100 because you have to bleed all around. You have to bleed all the brakes because it has air in it, and it don't look like they did a good job fixing it. So he said, well, I tell you what. He said, there's two places. He gave me the name of the two places. One of them is Korean, okay? And he said that I want you to go, and one of them is white, okay? And there's a reason why I'm telling you there's a reason why I'm using color at this very moment, but I'll explain that in a few minutes. So the one place that he told me to go to was the first place I went. He said, I just want you to tell them to check out the car. They shouldn't charge you to check out the brakes. They're just checking it out to see if there's a hole in the line or not. And then call me and let me know. And if you have the money, I will try to fix it for you. So the first place I went was a Korean place. So I told the guy, and I was who I was referred by, and asked him if he could check the car out. Now, mind you, the guy that sent me there said that they check out cars for free. And so he kind of looked at me and he was like, mm-hmm. And then he went back and talked to this other guy, and the other guy, who had a very nasty attitude, by the way, let me just say that, came to me, and I said, and he was like, yeah. And he said it just like that. I'm not exaggerating, y'all. He was like, yeah. And I was like, I need some, my Otis sent me, oh, shouldn't put the name up there, but anyway, he sent me, and he told me that you guys would check my car out. My brakes is not working. I need some. I just need you to check it out to tell me if there's a hole in the line or not, the brake line or not. I could do it for $45. No, that's what the Korean guy said to me. So I was like, oh, well, I don't have $45, but thank you anyway. So I left. So I called the guy back and I said, well, the first guy that you sent me to, that you said was free, said it was $45. So now I'm on my way to the second guy. He was like, okay, well, he was like, go to the second guy, which was the white people. Pulled up there was a white woman and a white guy that was standing out talking to somebody in another car. So the white girl came around and she was like, hi, how can I help you? And I said to her, I told her what the problem was, told her I was referred, and she looked at the car, looked around the car, and she said, well, first of all, she said, well, did your brakes go down to the ground when you first had brake problems? And I said, yeah, but they also grind. And she said, well, let me tell you some things. And I had explained the whole story to her. So she said, well, let me tell you some things that you'll know so they won't take advantage of you again. So she started telling me some things so that I would know about my car so they wouldn't so I wouldn't be taken advantage of. So then I then the other guy came along. Hi, baby, that's my husband. That's my boo-boo. So then the other guy came along and she was telling him what I told her. And so I proceeded to tell them about the $100. She was like, $100? And he looked at me. He said, well, did he kiss you? Did you get some flowers? He was like, $100 for what? He was like, no. He said, I tell you what, you come back here tomorrow. I don't have time today because we're closing early. Come back here tomorrow. I'll check out your car. He said, at the most, let me bleed the whole car all the way around. He said, and I was like, and how much is that? He was like, $35. I was like, okay. He said, let's start from there. Let's see. He said, but this is what it sounds like to me. Because she had also told me when she first came to the car. Because when I told her about the first guy charging us $40, she was like, $40 to put your brakes on? She was like, we do $40 and we're a shop. And you could come back if they don't work. So she had already confirmed that, they would fix it. So long story short, tomorrow I'm going there for my car. However, here's what I'm saying about that. The reason why I said the color, me and my sister is my road dog. My sister Ann, so she be traveling in my adventures. We call it adventures together with me. So I noticed that what my sister and I would talked about is we had to go to the Caucasian to be treated fairly. The Caucasian didn't look at the car and automatically say $100 or anything like that. Plus, the Caucasian gave us advice. The Koreans, at least in Georgia, as far as I have seen, and like I said, in my opinion, seem to be very prejudiced because not only have I dealt with the Koreans with my car, but also I have dealt with the Koreans with my house and landlord, and that's why some of the problems have started. Okay, so let me just put that out there and let me say again, this is my opinion. Okay, when it comes to our black males, my sister raised a good point. Where is the black males that say, this could be my mother? This could be my sister. And I wouldn't want my sister driving a car that the brakes don't work. I wouldn't want my mother out here driving a car with no brakes. Let me look after my young black sisters. And when my sister said that, it was like, yeah, where is that black man? So what I'm saying, I came on here to say this. Black men, we need you. We need you to step up. We need you to say, hey, I got you. Because this could be your mother. This could be your sister. This could be your cousin. So again, like I said, I'm just now recognizing it because I've had these type of black brothers around me all my life, and I'm in a family. When I tell you that I married a man that covered me, and when I tell you not just he covered me, but his whole brothers. His brothers covered me. I feel secure around any one of my brother-in-laws. Do you hear me? I would go anywhere with them and follow them just like I would follow my husband because they have that same mentality. When I tell you my mother-in-law raised men, that she put this in them, she did. I give all the credit to her. These men are strong black men that covered not just their wives, their sisters, their cousins, female cousins. They covered us. So what I'm doing on now, I'm calling for all the black men, and I know a lot of them. I can name some that are my friends that covered their black women, and that not just their family, but their friends, and know that we are queens, and we deserve that. But I want to talk to the black men in Georgia. Like I said, I'm not going to name the town that I'm in, but black men in Georgia, you need to get it together, and you need to learn this rule of covering, because we could be your mother or your sister, your little sister, or your little female cousin. And I just don't feel that down here. And that hurts my heart. Because like I said, I was raised in that. What about the women that wasn't raised in that and doesn't recognize that that's what they're supposed to have? And not that it's a man's responsibility to make a woman feel worthy. But come on now, there are some of us that don't feel it. And we need to feel it. We need the covering of you black men, because that's your job. And you know what? There's no other way I can say it. That's your job, because the Bible says it. Because you can talk all day about how the Bible says that a woman is supposed to be submissive unto her husband. However, the Bible also said don't be no fool. And we can't be submissive unto you if you don't know God, number one. And number two, because you don't know God, you're not following God. So how can we trust you when you say go around that corner and don't ask questions if you're not of godly and you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be to honor your queen? Because the Bible also says that a husband is supposed to treat his wife as he treats the church. So that means that as a man, you're supposed to cover the women in your household. Or not just even in your household. You're supposed to cover the women. Back in the day, it took a village to raise a child, just like it takes a village to raise a child. It takes that man, that strong man. And guess what? Let's speak about back in the day. Because back in the day, we didn't have all this DNA and paternity court and all that. Back in the day, it did take a village to raise a child. Because guess what? If you had a child if you slept with a woman, whether that child was yours, someone in somebody's family would say, well, you know what? You slept with her, didn't you? So we're going to raise this child as a family. Whether it was grandma, mama, sister, it wasn't well, we're going to go to court and see if it's yours. It wasn't none of that. That's about covering. That's a part of covering. And for all that they say about the black men, if it's one thing that the black men was back in the day, it was true to who they were. It was no women and children. You ain't mess with women and children. I don't care how grimy gangs are, you don't mess with the women and children. That's a part of the black man covering. So I'm on here speaking to the black men that don't have that mentality. You need to get it, because right now we're in detrimental times, and we need to do all of the things. Black women need to be strong, confident. Black men, you need to cover us. You need to be there for us. You need to make sure that we're okay. I don't care whether you know us or not. Because it hurt my heart that I got more from the Caucasian in this whole time. We've been here since September. And I got more from the Caucasian than I got from any of the black men here. They didn't say, oh, well, it's going to cost $100 for labor. They didn't say that. She said, you bring your car here tomorrow. $35. We'll start from there and see what we can do. We're going to help you out. And with education. With education. Well, let me tell you this, so this won't happen to you before. That's what I expect from my black man. I expect my black man to treat me as if I was his mother or his little sister or his little cousin. Not treat me like I'm just somebody out there. I don't know you, so we got to do better. If we want better, because we're busy, we can jump on the bandwagon. We can jump on the bandwagon of NFL this, or they doing this to me, or they shooting the cops shooting up. But let's be real. Let's jump on some bad. I challenge. How about that? Let's do the challenge, because y'all good with the challenge, jumping on Facebook. Challenges. I challenge 5 black men to do something for a black woman. Do something for a black queen, whether you know her or not. I challenge you. Hey, sis. How about that? 5 black men. Go out there and find you a black queen and do something for her. You ain't got to know her. Just do something. Give her $10. I don't know, anything. Give her $10 so that she can go get her meal tonight. Something. How about that? Let's do that. Again, we got to do better. We all we got. You know, we can't, for real, I appreciate the Caucasian and what they're doing for me. But I expect more from my people. Because at the end of the day, that's all we got. Sister Soldier said a long time ago, she said the reason why she don't believe in mixed marriages is because at the end of the day, when the war comes, whose side are you going to be on? And listen, all day, my black men, all day, I'm ride or die for my black men. But I need to know they riding or dying for me too. And a lot of us women, us queens out here, need that. You know, yes, on both sides, we have our issues. You know, sometimes the queen can be very judgmental. Sometimes the queen can be demanding things that they ain't trying to do themselves. But on the other hand, black men, you got to do better too. Because I guarantee you, I'm speaking from a place where I am. I already have my king, okay? And my king does his job to the fullest. Trust me when I say he is a good king. But the reason why that I do what I do for my king is because he is that good king. And because he makes me feel secure. And because I know that I am okay in his arms. Because one, he is a God-fearing man. Two, because he is a God-fearing man, when he say, go around that corner, okay, I'm going around that corner. Because I know I have nothing to worry about. Because he knows that he's going to treat me as Christ treats the church. That's what we're asking from you, black men. We're asking you to treat us as Christ treats the church. We're asking for you to covenant us, to make us feel like queen. Because if we feel like queen, we got your back. You know, a good point is, two good points, and then I'm going to get off of here. One good point is, I'm going to tell you a little story about my brother-in-law. As I said to you, I'm from a strong black woman family. In my family, we just pick up and do because that's what we learned to do. When my brother-in-law moved down here, my husband is calling me, y'all, and he know I'm on Facebook. Yes, baby. Tell Ann to take. I asked Ann to take it out. Call Ann and tell her to take it out, please. Just call her. Sorry about that, y'all. Wifely duties. Which, give me a moment. I'm sorry, y'all. Ann! I'm sorry. Can you take out the food? Oh, you turned it off? Oh. Sorry, guys. Okay, so my brother-in-law, when he moved down here, he had this big truck with his furniture and stuff in it. So I was so excited about him moving down here. I couldn't wait for him to get down here. And he got down here about 12 at night. And he was coming from a long distance, and I was worried about him. And I'm like, hurry up and get down here. So he got down here, and he drove all the way in this truck. And I knew he was tired. So I ran out there. You need some help? Trying to help him. And he was offended. And okay, so for me, it was kind of like, oh, what? I'm trying to help him. Why is he offended? But he said to me, he was like, what I look like asking you to help me move my stuff in there. And I was like, oh. And I thought about it, and I had to remember who he is. Because as I said to y'all in the beginning, my brother-in-laws are like my brothers. They're strong. They cover it. They're women. They're sisters. They're sister-in-laws. They're cousins. They're female cousins. So for a moment, I was taken aback because I was like, hey, got kind of crabby with me. I was just trying to help him. But I realized that my strongness and their strongness sometimes clash because, like I said, I'm from the family, you do what you got to do. You pick up, you need some help, I'll help you. And, you can't do that with them. It's like, I ain't gonna ask you, I'm the man, if I need some help, I'll get another man to help. You ain't gonna be moving stuff. So that's one thing that I have to say about, that's one of the little stories. The other story is that when my other two husbands, not to say much, but let's just say my other two husbands was not as, they didn't cover as well as this husband does, okay, to put it lightly, okay? So I'm used to again, like I said with my brother-in-law, I'm used to just running and doing things because that's what I had to do. And sometimes I forget that I don't have to do that anymore. Sometimes I forget that I do have a strong husband and strong brother-in-laws that I don't have to be that. Okay, well I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, well I'll figure out it. I don't have to do that now. And sometimes I forget because old habits die hard. So I do try to do it. But, and so I guess that's also a reason why I didn't realize until today, and my sister said something, how Georgia, again, I say Georgia because I didn't feel it in Virginia. I didn't feel it in New Jersey. I'm just feeling it down here. Georgia is different. Okay. So that being said, let's step it up. Let's step it up, Georgia. Georgia men, let's step it up. It doesn't matter, you know, what your sexual preference is. Let's just say that because, of course, Georgia has a reputation, but it don't even matter. Because let me say something. I have some children, okay, or children that I call my children. And, their sexual preference might be different, but they still are who they are. The men that are that way, the male child that is that way, he still, at the end of the day, he still plays his role as protecting the queen. The female child, she still plays her role because she's still a queen at this point. So it's not about, if somebody said, well, Georgia has their, men that they're not men, but they are men because it doesn't matter. It's not about a sexual preference. It's about doing what you're supposed to do. It's about being a man and protecting. Still, at that sexual preference doesn't have nothing to do with you had a mama and you would want your mama treated a certain way. You treat your mama a certain way. So treat your women, every other black woman, like you would want your mama being treated. How about that? With that being said, I'm going to get off here because I didn't mean to be on this long. Like I said, I'm cooking and everything, but I just had to get on and say that. And again, I'm still for that 5 men. 5 men. I challenge 5 men. We're going to call this the Strong Black Man Challenge. 5 men. Go do something for a black queen. Doesn't matter whether you know her or not. It could be somebody you know, could be somebody you don't know. Go do something for her. Let's change this. And if there's anybody out there from Georgia that watched the Hatchett Chronicles, men, step it up. Please step it up. Please step it up. We need you. We need to change this for us. We need to do better. This is 2020. We got great things coming, but only if we come together. Let's come together. Let's make... shout out to the men that's helping my sister with her... my sister Valerie with her web series, because those are some strong black men. So there are strong black men out here, but I know there's more than just the ones that we know in our camp. They got to be. So I'm imploring y'all to step up and acknowledge the black queens out here. As I said, treat us like you want your mama to be treated. How about that? Thank you for listening and letting me gripe because I was just feeling some kind of way today, but I appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting me. I see my brother Zardy on here. Hi, brother. He's a strong black man. My sister Katrina. Hey, baby, I love you. My husband was on here, but, he probably mad because it's time for him to eat. I got to go feed my husband, y'all. My sister Valerie. I love you, Valerie. She got a web series coming, y'all. look out for that. Look out for my husband's stuff. We'll talk about that on Sunday. I will see y'all on Sunday at 6 o'clock for our regular schedule Hatchet Chronicles, where I will be reading my book, chapter 3 of The Power of God by Imwa. So please meet me back here at 6 o'clock on Sunday. I will be back. And this is T Hatchet, and we out. Peace.